Welcome to the Little League Softball Regionals on ESPN, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Day 3 of the Mid-Atlantic Regional brings us to our first elimination game here in Bristol, Connecticut. Delmar Little League, the state champs from Maryland, looking to bounce back from a subpar showing yesterday against Mamie Johnson Little League from Washington, D.C. They've had a day to regroup since losing their opener on Saturday. Here's the region at a glance, and the field of 6 will be reduced to 5 this afternoon. All still dreaming, though, of reaching the ultimate, getting to the Little League Softball World Series. And welcome, everybody. Alongside Alex Powers, I'm Doug Sherman. Glad you're here with us for this elimination game, and because of that, everything is on the line. The loser goes home. Yeah, tough go-arounds in game 1 for both of these teams. And if you think about what they did well, some of them had good outings in the circle, but really it was the lack of defense and the lack of the timely hitting where they struggled most. Well, with the elimination, one team goes home, the other will survive and advance. And so that means the winner will play another elimination game tomorrow at 1 o'clock against either New York or Delaware. Now for Maryland, the way they will line things up this afternoon, Riley Medford is their table setter. And based on the way they played yesterday, I think, Alex, this first inning could tell us a lot, both offensively and defensively, for Delmar. I think you're spot on, and just the aggressiveness in the batter's box and trying to figure out where is the strike zone today and what's feeling good for me as a hitter. And I've got to be ready to attack that from the very first pitch in my at-bats. And the pitcher we will see is Elise Kennedy for Washington, D.C. And you know what? She pitched well on Saturday, but hoping for a better result this afternoon. And that's been the key for Elise Kennedy this whole time, is just throwing strikes and trying to get ahead of these hitters as much as possible. She's got good velocity. She's going to try to keep hitters off balance with a little fastball changeup mix. But it's been the defense, or the lack thereof, where this Washington, D.C. team has struggled the most. She has that special talent of singing with her mouth closed. Maybe we'll show that to you again today. We showed it on Saturday. She is the manager's daughter and one of the leaders of this team, and she's got her work cut out for her this afternoon. Riley Medford, Claire Ford, and Riley Phillips to lead things off here in the top of the first inning for Maryland. Kennedy's first pitch misses up. So Elise Kennedy is the #1 pitcher for this Mamie Johnson Little League, and she has put in a ton of work since last summer. This is the 3rd straight year they've been the DC representative here in Bristol, and we see the big jump in the way she pitches from a year ago until now. And that's what it's about, right? Just development and trying to get better year to year. You go back, you get good information after tournaments like this. You understand where your competition level is at, the areas that maybe are a little bit more of your weakness, and you just work hard at them. And thanks to her work with Coach Bree especially, she has a better grasp on changing speeds, which is a big part of pitching. Keep that batter guessing and off balance. There's a strike, 3-1. You see so many of these kids at the 12 and 13-year-old level, and coach will say, yeah, she's got 6 pitches. And sometimes I do find myself asking, does she really, or does she have, 2 or 3 that are probably pretty good? Finds the strike zone again to get the count full. Her infield, Karma White at third, Amora Burks at short, Zoe Vasquez at second, Morgan Richardson playing first today, and Maya Small behind the plate. Good fastball there, behind on the swing, Riley Medford, and they'll do it again. And after the right fielder, Mason Mills, tracks down that foul ball. Amira Burks, the twin sister of the shortstop Amora, patrols center field. And then Brooke Adams gets the call out in left to begin this game. Kennedy's payoff pitch again. Ripped to the right side and gloved by Vasquez. Hit hard, but right at the second baseman for our first out. Good job here. This is the defense that you want to see, a little line drive action. But Zoe Vasquez, line drive shot right to her. She's ready. And now the shortstop, Claire Ford, comes up. Lays it down, and it's going to go foul. The catcher, Maya Small, who has looked very good here this week so far. Quick from behind home plate. But it's 0-1 to the youngest of David and Kate Ford's 4 kids. She's got brothers Jack and Matthias. And her sister Maggie won here to reach the Little League World Series, what's that, 4 years ago now, back in 2022. The year that this program reached the championship game. Now she bunts right side. Kennedy couldn't handle it. And we have our first base runner of the afternoon on a base hit bunt single.
This is a good job scouting here by Delmar Little League, just knowing that the defense has been a little bit questionable up to this point for Washington, D.C. And Elise Kennedy tries to field her position, having to crash in aggressively. Tries to get a little ahead of herself, too. Just takes her eye off the ball right at the end there. But good opportunity right now for defense to step up. Good double play.
Riley Phillips lays down a bunt. Had a nice conversation with the Maryland manager and third base coach Roger Waters this morning, and he said he was just stunned at how poorly his Delmar Little League All-Stars played in their first game. He said it was the worst game they had played this year, and the 58-year-old has been around. He said it's worse than they had even a practice this year, so he expects a big bounce back here today. Throw goes through as the base runner, Claire Ford, goes back to first.
I think that's the hardest part, too, of coaching, just knowing that you see every day the work that these players put in, and you see their potential, the glimpses of promise. You're like, wow, this squad can be really good, and then they have an outing like they did in game 1 yesterday, and you kind of shake your head like, man, where'd it go?
Phillips, right side, gloved by Vasquez. 2 away, Ford stops at second, now trying to draw a throw. And so now DC will try to put a 0 up on the scoreboard here in the top of the first.
And Riley Phillips hit this one hard, opposite field in that 3-4 hole, but again, good defense by Zoe Vasquez. Mamie Johnson Little League stepping up, making some plays early in this game.
The batter is the cleanup hitter, Rowan Preston, playing second base today. Kennedy misses up a huge lead, and on the throw back to the pitcher. Great anticipation as Ford takes third.
Claire Ford has been aggressive on the bases in the short amount of time she's been out there, just trying to push the defense, getting big leads, making the catcher look at her whenever possible. Maya Small just kind of trying to take the bait there. Claire Ford doing what she can to push herself an additional 60 feet.
Maryland came here to Bristol this year looking at trying to get a little redemption for last year's team that fell short. Strike call. 3-1 to the cleanup hitter, Rowan Preston. And we've known coming into this regional, the strengths of Maryland's team is pitching and defense, although we didn't see that so much in their loss yesterday. And they have to manufacture their offense. So now a bunt single and a walk, have runners at first and second. Now the young lady who just walked takes second as the pitcher never turned her head.
This is the aggressive base running that we would expect to see from Maryland again after a disappointing game 1. They're definitely going to have to do things different, overly aggressive today, trying to push defense however possible, trying to manufacture that offense themselves without even having to get hits.
Yeah, Kendall Givens now at the plate. A base hit could do some damage. Hard-hitting third baseman, batting 5th in the lineup for Delmar. You see, she would love to be a pediatrician someday. And the youngest girl on the team with a good hack, but now she's behind 0-2. And as you'd expect for one of the younger girls in this region, she is strong for her age to be able to compete with the older girls. I mean, she's going into the 6th grade at Delmar Middle School, and she just turned 11 last month. Changeup taken inside. Now the 1-2 pitch. Givens with a good eye, and once again Miles Small chases the base runner back to third. Well, the batter, Kendall Givens, knows all about excellent youth softball. Her mom, Caitlin, who is a nursing supervisor, mom actually made the Little League Softball World Series herself as a player twice. Nice job by Small to keep that ball close.
And how cool is that to have that kind of experience and just keeping it in the family like that? Different experiences, I'm sure, back when mom played versus where the Little League World Series is now, and a lot of that thanks to the growth of softball as a whole.
Bouncing ball right side, knocked down and played beautifully by Morgan Richardson. And DC gets out of trouble in the top of the first inning. As Maryland strands 2 in scoring position, we head to the bottom of the first with no score.
And go.
Those are the Burks twins, Amora and Amira. And we saw their special handshake. And Coach Kennedy calls Amora the athletic twin, Amira the vocal twin. And both enjoying themselves in their second year playing softball after switching from baseball. And you see Amora bats third, Amira bats first in the lineup today. They flank Morgan Richardson, and then Elise Kennedy, the manager's daughter, in the cleanup spot. Maya Small, Karma White, Zoe Vasquez, Sahela Ware, Mason Mills, Brooke Adams, and Samaya Miles facing Riley Phillips. And what should we see from Riley Phillips, the right-hander, here this afternoon?
I think just a lot of strikes, attacking the zone early in these counts as much as possible, and trying to get these Washington, D.C. hitters off balance. Mostly going to have fastball changeup mix. Going to mix in a drop ball, too, trying to keep it below the knees. It's going to be key. I feel like I always say the same scouting report, too. Just throwing strikes, and a lot of them. You got to get ahead early as a hitter. It's so hard to work from behind in a count.
But it's a basic truth of all softball and baseball.
Absolutely it is. One of the hardest things to do.
Well, Riley Phillips told us in her questionnaire she was looking forward to 3 things this week. 1, staying in the dorms with her teammates. Check. 2, playing on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Check. And number 3, redemption. Again, Delmar, when they come to Bristol, most years it seems, they expect to get through to the World Series, and they fell short last year. And now if they're going to make it this year, it's going to be out of the elimination bracket.
I think my favorite is number 3, just that redemption and that hunger to come back and do a little bit better than you did last year, knowing maybe what was at stake, what was lost. Again, we talk about the weaknesses that our team had that we got to go and work on the last year, get better at those, come back stronger.
And she gets her first strikeout. Amira Burks chases the high pitch, and there is one away. Well, we have an all Riley battery from Maryland. Riley Medford behind the plate catching Riley Phillips. Infield first to third, Sam Timmons, Rowan Preston, Claire Ford, Kendall Givens. And in the outfield, Joe Miller, Allie Russell, and Olivia Gaddis. There are no mandatory defensive play rules anymore in Little League, so we may see this lineup for the rest of the game, or the manager and coaches may wind up switching things up. And after one, Riley just quickly went out to talk to the other. Riley, we are set for our second batter, Morgan Richardson. And you know what? Riley Phillips comes by pitching naturally. Her dad, Sean Phillips, was a right-handed pitcher drafted by the Texas Rangers out of Delaware State in the 20th round some 22 years ago. Riley's dad spent a couple of years in the minor leagues pitching for the Rangers and the Marlins, and he tells his daughter, go be great. And Sean is one of the coaches on this team. He stays in the dugout primarily, but he has been a tremendous resource and support for his daughter out there in the circle.
It takes a village, just trying to get these players to continue learning the game and really developing out on the field. Definitely helps when you've got experience like that, mom or dad having been on similar stages, even just highly competitive sports in general. It's a whole different mindset, but the specific skill set and knowledge that comes with baseball, softball, always beneficial. Did you see that ball ricochet on the foul ball?
I did.
Yeah, almost took out the catcher. The other Riley.
Full count drawn by Morgan Richardson. Morgan says she most looks up to her mom, Denisha, her dad, David Sr., her aunts, Keisha and Lynette. You can see she's tall. She's also got an older cousin who is 6'1" and played Division I college basketball. Riley Phillips fields her position. Richardson retired and quickly 2 away. And now the other Burks twin, Amora, will bat. Did you ever have a secret handshake with one of your teammates?
Oh, man. I'm trying to think if I was that cool. Maybe like a best friend at one point that we were on the same team, but as you get older, your best friends become your teammates, and so it was kind of roles reversed there when I was really young, but I can't remember any specific handshakes in particular.
Amora fouls that one away. We appreciate the girls playing along with us, showing us their secret handshake, and you could see by the smiles and the giggles, they just loved it.
So that twin telepathy is something that's, I think, one of the coolest things about being a twin. Everybody I know that is identical twins, fraternal twins, they're just always on the same wavelength.
Yeah, I've always been a little jealous of them.
I know, right?
You know, I've got brothers, but it's just different.
Just different. Built-in best friend right there.
Well, they both aspire to play in the WNBA. Amora's favorite player is Angel Reese. Amira's favorite is Paige Beckers. Amora pops it up, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for Riley Phillips. No score through 1 here on day 3 of the Mid-Atlantic Regional in Bristol, Connecticut. The Little League Softball Regionals on ESPN are presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's and is a big part of supplying equipment for Little League Softball and baseball. And you've got to be properly geared, right, Alex?
Of course you do. And just all the fatheads, all the fun stuff, right? That's what the game is all about now. Back when I played, it was most important what kind of bat and glove you had. Now it's all the extra stuff that makes you look cool.
Love the pom-poms on a gorgeous afternoon for softball here in Bristol, Connecticut. The 6, 7, 8 hitters due up for the Maryland state champions from Delmar. It's the lefty hitting Allie Russell rocking double bubble braids, which I think is pretty cool. You've got your bubble braids today, Alex.
I do.
But just a single.
You're right. Not as cool.
If you had to do 2, you might not even be at the ballpark yet. As long as I know it takes to get those bubble braids just right. Her favorite TV show, Just Like You.
We were just talking about that, too. How cute is that?
Full House. How about that?
Doug had just asked me between breaks what my favorite show was growing up. As you see, Allie Russell strikes out there. Elise Kennedy with a fantastic pitch down in the zone. Keeps it below the knees nicely. Full House is a classic.
So now Kennedy Griffith will take her first turn against Elise Kennedy, who wiggled out of some trouble in the first inning, gave up a bunt single and a walk. Both wound up in scoring position, but Elise wound up getting through unscathed. That ball ripped to right field, going to be played on a hop by Mason Mills. A one-out single for Kennedy Griffith.
Good piece of hitting here by Kennedy Griffith. Just takes this pitch, goes the other way nicely. Gonna fall into shallow right field. This is what you want to see, being aggressive early in counts. Good things happen when you swing the bat.
Harper Shockley lets that pitch go through. And since it got through the catcher Small, taking second base is Kennedy Griffith. So a 1-ball, no strike count to Harper Shockley. This time she bunts it, and it's a good one. The sacrifice works. And so with 2 outs, Maryland once again has a runner at third base.
Good bunt execution there by Harper Shockley. Lays down the sacrifice nicely, advancing Kennedy Griffith, the third, now just 60 feet away from another run. But how about that defense? Mamie Johnson Little League spent a lot of time working on improving defensively, trying to make those plays.
Pitch gets away, and here comes the runner. Griffith will score standing. As it needs to do, Maryland has manufactured its first run of the ball game. Livy Gaddis rips this one to right. And that is a base hit. The inning will continue. Now, Livy comes from a very athletic family. Her older cousin is actually KJ Trader, played a couple of years of minor league baseball for the Red Sox, as we take another look at the swing. And another cousin, Dante Trader Jr., is a second-year safety for the Miami Dolphins. And in that Delmar community, coincidentally, Dante Trader played his Pop Warner Little League football for none other than the man who's coaching at third base right now, Roger Waters. Tells you how long he's been around and coaching. And there is Dante in his second year out of the University of Maryland.
So cool. The family ties that so many of these athletes have, the athleticism that runs in the families, aunts, uncles, cousins, mom, dad.
I've got to figure, as you've said, Alex, it gives these girls tangible proof that, well, if my cousin can get there to a high level, maybe I can too. Rachel Wright moves out of the way. Snap throw down to first, and back safely Olivia Gaddis. Remember the rules in Little League. You can dive headfirst back to a base. You cannot go headfirst into a base you are going to. And that's for, of course, safety purposes. You've got to go in feet first when you are sliding to a base you're going toward. Right, fights that one off into the stands.
I'm sure you were a much better baseball player at this age than I was softball player Doug, but I would have argued at that point that it was safer for me and everybody else to slide head first. It was not the best feet first slider.
Really?
Yeah, I had to learn. Yeah, it was tough.
The pitch comes up a little bit short and allows for Gaddis to get on to second base. Now the payoff pitch. Wright fights off another one, and they will do it again. Well, we've mentioned the Maryland coaching staff again. Roger Waters, the manager, coaching at third. C.J. Preston, Rowan's dad, is coaching at first, and then Sean Phillips, the former minor league pitcher, is in the dugout. There's Roger with that sharp cap that the guys wear. Slow ground ball towards short. Amora Burks cleanly fields, and that retires the side, but not until Maryland gets on the board. Couple of base hits. Kennedy Griffith makes it 1-0 Maryland here in the middle of the second inning.
Welcome to the Little League Softball World Series.
This is as big as the event has ever been.
12 strikeouts tonight.
Find the glove!
It is out of here!
The competition has definitely elevated. The best is yet to come.
Yeah, this year's championship game will be live at 3 p.m. Sunday, August 9th on ABC. And we've got 6 teams here in the Mid-Atlantic region would love to add their names to that exclusive list. And by the way, Massapequa Park, New York, that won it in 2023. Massapequa International, same Little League program. We will see them again tonight at 7 o'clock in an elimination game. But the girls from Long Island still live in that dream that they could do what their town did just 3 short years ago. First pitch swinging, Elise Kennedy pops it up, and nicely done by Riley Medford to manage behind home plate.
There's so many things I love about this defensive play. The first one starting with how she kept her helmet on. She thought about it there for a second, knew better of it just to see, hey, I got to keep my eye on this ball. Drifted with it nicely, stayed athletic, her feet moving the whole time. Really good defensive play right there by Riley Medford.
And she's made the last 2 putouts on pop-ups around home plate. We talked yesterday, look out on the first base side, that line shot. Good thing we got the screens and the netting. But Medford missed last year's regional because of a broken thumb. And we have gotten a taste of just how valuable she is behind home plate. And the ability there to calmly, easily make those 2 plays should be noted. The batter is Maya Small, who was 1 for 2 on Saturday with a booming triple. One of the dangerous sticks in the middle of the lineup for the district. Bouncing ball right side, gobbled up by Preston. 2 down. Well, so far the defense has been tighter today for Delmar than we saw in their loss yesterday.
On both sides, too. I think that there's a little bit of urgency that comes with knowing that the game and a win on the line here is really all you need to keep that opportunity alive, knowing that if you lose, you go home.
And now Karma White. Her mom, Christina, is a human resources officer. Her dad, Eddie, is an IT specialist. Her dad played baseball back in the day, and her mom ran track. And she most looks up to her older sister, Caitlin, is what Karma tells us through her Little League questionnaire that they filled out this week. And actually, Washington, D.C. was able to fill out their questionnaires a couple of weeks ago because they knew they were coming to Bristol 3-4 weeks ago. That's a quick 1-2-3 inning for Riley Phillips, her second strikeout of the afternoon.
Riley Phillips is rolling, feeling good so far. Defense having her back, throwing a lot of strikes, keeping it off the plate nicely, too. That one's a big one. Maryland on top.
Welcome back to the Little League Softball Regionals on ESPN, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. And we are just getting underway here in the top of the 3rd inning. First pitch lifted out to center field, and it's a base hit to start things for the state champ from Maryland. Sam Timmons, the number 11 hitter in this continuous batting order, has her first hit of the regional.
Now batting, number 1, Ryan Willie.
Talk about being aggressive. The first pitch of the at-bat, Sam Timmons drives deep to center field. Not much you can do out there if you're Amira Burks. Lets it fall in front, and right now Maryland's got more base runners.
Well, they stranded 2 runners in the first, stranded 1 in the second when they did score. Perfect sac bunt. Karma White's throw not in time, and leaping in joy is Rylan Twilley as she reaches first base safely on a bunt single.
Good job by Rylan Twilley here with the situational hitting. Lays down a sacrifice nicely. Third baseman Karma White is playing deep. I think a little bit of frustration too by Roger Waters out there. There was third base was open, no defensive player covering, with the bunt going to Karma White.
And the batter is Joe Miller, the starting left fielder this afternoon, who says her personal highlights so far in All-Stars for Delmar. She has her very first triple as a Little League player earlier this year. Takes that pitch for strike 2. Let's see if they take the bunt off here. She's 5'1", a 12-year-old heading into the 7th grade at Delmar Middle School, and is a huge Baltimore Orioles fan and still roots for former Oriole Cedric Mullins, now of Tampa Bay. I do like what we see out of Maya Small behind the plate for Washington, D.C., Alex. In control.
She's doing a good job controlling the runners, exactly. Comes up out of the squat. Make sure nobody's trying to run on her. And I like that she's doing that instead of just throwing the ball all around, even if it's just back to Elise Kennedy. She's got to get a grasp on the runners, control the situation, get everybody moving back towards their base.
Kennedy's 1-2 pitch is up, and the count is even. Maryland has the most girls on its roster in the 16 field. They've got 13, so everybody in the starting lineup. Strike 3 call. Big first out for Elise Kennedy.
Great pitch by Elise Kennedy. Attacks the inside corner, knows exactly where she wants to place that pitch. Good execution of the location. Joe Miller's frozen.
So back to the top of the order for Riley Medford. Riley went 1 for 2 as the 5-hole hitter yesterday. And in her first at bat today, she hit a sharp line drive that second baseman Zoe Vasquez made a nice play on.
Riley Medford's coined by Coach Waters as the team jokester. Somebody that's just a lot of fun, has a huge personality. You never know what's going to come next.
Popped up, back our way, and out of play. Onto the roof right above us. She says if she wins the lottery, Riley Medford said she would take the money and pay off her parents' mortgage. There are a number of girls who have made responsible decisions when given the opportunity, perhaps, to have lottery money.
How sweet is that, too?
Strike 3 call, throw to third. It gets by, and Delmar is going to score another run. Sam Timmons comes across to make it 2-0 Maryland.
Good heads-up base running here by Delmar Little League. The strike 3 call freezes Riley Medford, but no hesitation there for Sam Timmons. She's going on the pitch. The throw gets by both infielders, third baseman, shortstop, Karma White and Maura Burks, and next thing you know, Sam Timmons coming in to score. That's how you push the defense, too. Make them make the throws, make them make the plays. Speed applies the pressure.
And Maura Burks, the shortstop, had the right idea. She was heading in the right direction to try and back that play up, just couldn't quite get there in time. And then no hesitation from Sam Timmons to hop up and come across. So after a quick visit to the circle, Elise Kennedy will go back to work facing Claire Ford, who reached on a bunt single in the first inning. Ford punches it to right. It falls in. And that's an RBI single. Coming in to score easily is Rylan Twilley. Second run of the inning makes it 3-0.
Love to see these hitters being patient, letting these pitches travel in the zone, hitting it the other way. Really good stuff there. Driving that ball to right field. Rylan Twilley is going on the swing with 2 outs. She knows that she's got to score on a base hit. Really good stuff there. Base running, swinging the bat aggressively. Like to see it in the adjustments that this Delmar Little League team has made.
The batter is Riley Phillips. And pitch off the glove of the catcher. Down to second, and then a huge turn. Ford stops there. She made contact with the shortstop, Maura Burks. I don't know who would or wouldn't be in the right there or in the wrong. Nothing came of it, no big deal. But she aggressively went to second thinking maybe I can get to third.
And I've seen that a couple of times, even though Maryland hasn't really taken advantage. I think some of the defenders are in the wrong positioning. I saw it over at first on a base hit earlier. Morgan Richardson was kind of lingering out there, and a base runner could have made contact. You just got to keep your head up too defensively. Know that Got to stay out of the way of the base runners.
Now the 2-1 pitch to Riley Phillips. Bounce towards Zoe Vasquez, and she continues to field her position very well this afternoon. That was the third out of the inning, so Claire Ford coming across, that is not a run. But they scored twice in the top of the third. 3-0 Maryland. Mamie Peanut Johnson, all 5'3", 98 pounds of her, was one of just 3 women to have played in the Negro Leagues, and she learned her curveball from none other than Satchel Paige himself and used that for a 33-8 record. 33-8 over 3 years against the men in the Negro Leagues. She lived in DC's Ward 4, and she died in 2014, but as part of the Little League Urban Initiative program, which began in 1999, Little League in Washington, D.C. for softball took shape in 2021 thanks to Keith and Kevin Barnes, and they wanted to pay homage to Peanut Johnson, and so they have put her name on this Little League program. And by the way, they have the sharpest looking uniforms as far as I'm concerned. The pink accents are fantastic. But you know, the Little League Urban Initiative now has 50,000 players across 4,000 teams in some 85 cities. And that's all in a quarter-century time, since it started in 1999 with leagues in New York City and LA, now in pushing 90 different cities, including Washington, D.C. Zoe Vasquez retired on the ground ball to first.
Talk so much about the visibility of the sport of softball, but just even in these areas across the country, athletes have to know about it to be able to want to participate in it. And Mamie Johnson Little League and the surrounding communities have done a fantastic job just spreading the word, trying to expand, get more players playing the game of fast-pitch softball, getting opportunities to play on this kind of stage, on TV, playing for a regional tournament.
So Hayla Ware is the batter. Antoine Kennedy, now the manager of Washington, D.C. for the second year in a row, says it's all about relationships. And one of those relationships is with the Washington Nationals. They get to use the Washington Nationals Youth Academy for workouts. And it's not always so easy in an urban setting to find facilities, but the Nats have opened their doors for the last 5 years. And that is one of the relationships that helps grow this Little League.
I feel like that's a good rule of life, right? It's all about who you know, what you do with those relationships. You see, so Hayla Ware, her favorite sports team is the Nationals, right there in her backyard.
And their new primary field, their game field, is going to be beautiful. It's being refurbished right now, the Jackie Robinson Field. And Coach K says it's going to be a big deal once they get that all squared away. Ware goes down on strikes. K number 3 for Riley Phillips. Want to see some girls with game? Tune into an exciting summer of softball and visit littleleaguesoftball.org for great content, information about starting a softball league, and much more. Mason Mills takes a strike while showing a bunt. She's one of the girls for DC who has transitioned from baseball to softball. And again, for girls 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, that wasn't an option. Now she can play with the girls. And apparently Mason wears her hair bows 24/7. And she certainly is styling today. It matches the pink accents on the uniform. Also very artistic.
Look at that. Beautiful dresses. Love to see it. Wow. It's incredible. Wonder what kind of medium she uses. Not that I really know much about that anyways, but it would be cool to know.
Me either.
I dream about being able to draw like that.
Well, she has a doll collection as well. Ripped foul. Handled nicely by Coach Turk down at third. Tarek Chapman. Lynn Miles, the other coach for this team, working in conjunction with their manager, Antoine Kennedy. There's TC, the father of the Burke twins. Little dribbler. Going to be a tough chance. And she beats it out. A 2-out infield single for Mason Mills. And that is the first hit allowed so far this afternoon by Riley Phillips.
Mason Mills was putting together a good at-bat, fouled off several pitches, and then gets the swing and bunt. That one kind of in no man's land there. You've got Riley Phillips crashing in, trying to make the play, but Mason Mills, so much speed down the line, great hustle. First hit of the game.
Steal attempt, tag applied. Nicely done. Great throw by Riley Medford, and Claire Ford got the tag. So the first base runner of the day for DC is immediately erased on the caught stealing. 3-0 our score. I have trouble singing at all. Maybe I should try to follow the lead of Elise Kennedy. She can sing with her mouth closed.
Take me out to the garden, take me out to the club. Now let me let the club go out. I wanna go and up. Let's move on the whole team. I'm feeling like it's a scene. For it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, maybe I'm not again. Done.
Just added to the list of the mass amount of talent out here at the ball field. Not just on the field, off the field too. These athletes can do so many things between artwork, musical instruments, different sports. Add singing with your mouth closed.
And there is Elise. She has pitched well so far into the 4th inning, trailing 3-0. And facing the 4, 5, 6 hitters here for Maryland. Rowan Preston, who walked and stole a base, got stranded in 2nd in the 1st inning. Chopper to short. Amora Burks, 1 away.
This defense really stepping up today, having Elise Kennedy's back and how well she's been doing. But I love them making the routine plays. Maryland has made some good adjustments, finding their way on base with base hits, but really having to earn it. Washington, D.C. has really stepped up in this area.
Kendall Gibbons with a line drive into center field. A 1-out single for the 3rd baseman for Maryland.
Kendall Gibbons smokes this ball right back up the middle, gets those hands extended on something left right over the heart of the plate. Great piece of hitting, just hitting it right back where it came from. Barreled that one up nicely.
Now the bunt from Allie Russell. A successful sacrifice. Down to 2nd goes Gibbons. Find Little League on Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at the official handles at Little League. And don't forget to use the hashtag LLWS.
Now batting number 6, Kennedy.
Love the softball umbrella. And while we were watching the first game played here today in Bristol, it started at 10 a.m. We were in the stands. It got warm. It was cool to start, but the sun's out, and I would use an umbrella if I had one, just like those women have.
Beautiful weather out, especially after day 1 that was really rainy and cloudy. Not the best weather here. It's been fantastic ever since. That was on Saturday, day 1, and the sun has been shining the last 2 days.
And we've been fortunate so far, you know, have your storms that roll through, but we haven't had the extreme heat that has been around the Northeast and the eastern part of the country and much of the country so far. That's a foul ball. And the wildfires in Canada and the northern stretches of the upper Midwest, the smoke was very prevalent in this part of the country last week, but so far we've been doing pretty well here. Well, again, this is an elimination game. Maryland lost yesterday to Pennsylvania 7-0, managed just 2 base runners against the excellence of Maddie Graver. They have been much better at manufacturing runs today. That ball dropped, and that allows the run to score instead of an inning-ending 6-3 play. Gibbons comes across to make it 4-0.
And tough break there. A little ground ball action, but just unable to come up with it. Kendall Gibbons is going on the play, and good job by Kennedy Griffith just putting the ball in play, pressure on the defense. Good things happen when you swing the bat.
Now Harper Shockley. And earlier in the game, Harper went down to the bullpen to get loose. I don't know if we will see her come on in relief of Riley Phillips. In Little League softball, there are no pitch limits. There are innings limits. But if you pitch 6 or fewer innings, you can come back and pitch the next day.
Much less work for us as analysts, too, not having to track pitches. Thank goodness. Can you imagine?
You're not kidding.
Much rather track innings, but you'll have to track pitches here in a couple of weeks, but it's okay. We're not there yet.
The boys are different. The delayed steal is successful. Kennedy Griffith takes second base. She's been on base twice with a base hit and reached on the error, and now she's once again in scoring position, trying to come around for the second time.
Aggressive base running there with 2 outs. Kennedy Griffith just getting herself in scoring position. Smart move there.
Harper Shockley with her pink bat takes the pitch high and outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kennedy's changeup stays high. And it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. And Washington, D.C. has had a enjoyable 3 days. They lost their first game, though, on Saturday to New Jersey 11-1. Had a couple of hits. And so they are fighting for their regional life. They both are in this elimination game. Whoever survives this one will advance to play at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and also on ESPN Plus against the winner of tonight's 7 o'clock elimination game between New York and Delaware. And there you see what's at stake. Elise Kennedy and Harper Shockley having a good one-on-one duel here. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. And we will have a 9th. Slowly hit, a collision between second and third, and the runner is out. And so that is the 3rd out of the inning due to the interference.
The soft hit ground ball by Harper Shockley causes a collision at shortstop between Amora Burks and Kennedy Griffith. Everybody just kind of running with your head up. Amora Burks trying to field the ball, don't even see each other, make some pretty solid contact there, accidental, but on the obstruction on the base runner is out, and it is a dead ball, so the inning should be over.
And while the umpires discuss things with Roger Waters, we'll take a break and be right back. Welcome back to the Little League Softball Regionals on ESPN, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. It's a perfect day here in Bristol, Connecticut at the A. Bartlett Giamatti Little League Leadership Training Center, which has a whole new playing surface this year. Little League invested tons of money to give a whole new look. They further graded the diamond. The grass from here, you can see, especially in the outfield, to me looks almost like it's artificial, but I can tell you it's natural grass and is a wonderful playing surface out there for these girls.
Look how beautiful it is. Just they've done such a good job in this field and making all the upgrades. What an opportunity. I keep saying that word for these athletes with the visibility, playing on ESPN Plus and different networks here. Championships all going to be streamed. And then playing on a field this nice. That didn't happen until I got to college.
On the camera out there, Chris Kelly getting us our shots. Also got the brand new video board this year. Here's a look at the recent champions here at the Mid-Atlantic region. Always played in Bristol, Connecticut. These Delmar, Maryland girls, at least their older sisters, some of them, won it in 2022. Massapequa International in 23. Greensburg, PA 2 years ago, and then Johnstown, PA last year. And out of this region, 2 of the last 3 years has come the Little League Softball World Series champion. Brooke Adams stands in, the 10 hitter in the DC lineup, facing Riley Phillips, who continues to pitch. The starter has been in control. She has faced the minimum through 3 innings, allowing just 1 base hit. And that girl last inning was caught stealing. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
How about it? She's been so good, just commanding her pitches, mixing speed, super effective in the circle. It's one of the things that Coach Waters said we can expect out of this team is great pitching, solid defense behind them. He said it's really our hitting that needs to step up and be a little bit more clutch. They've done a good job so far this afternoon.
And as you say, Phillips has been in control. She's thrown 40 pitches, now 41, 30 of them for strikes. She looks at her hand after releasing that pitch. I know in baseball sometimes pitchers have to deal with blisters. Is it something that we ever see in softball at this level?
Oh, absolutely. I think especially the pitchers, right, and the way they hold the ball with the laces. Some of the balls have laces that are a little bit more raised up, which definitely causes some irritation depending on the pitches that they throw.
And I don't know that that's the case, but she continues to have trouble with one of her fingers. And we can see her maybe looking for a little assistance out there. So the leadoff walk to Brooke Adams brings up Samaya Miles, and we'll see if Phillips continues on. Maya Miles takes a strike. She's going to turn 12 in 3 days. Happy birthday, the youngest of Lynn and Sasha's 4 kids. And Dad is one of the coaches. And Lynn Miles is in the dugout, keeping track of things there on the bench. Right down the middle for Riley Phillips. Strikeout number 4 for Phillips.
Great pitch by Riley Phillips here. Or is it right over the middle of the plate, but just unable to catch up with it. She's got good velocity too coming out of the hand, so definitely having to giddy up a little bit if you're a hitter.
Throw behind the runner, and now she's caught. But she's going to outrun the tag, and safe at second base is Brooke Adams. Perhaps just a little quicker than Sam Timmons, the first baseman. And let's hope that Brooke is okay.
Just a little confusion there. Brooke Adams had a big lead. They throw behind the runner, and she dove into second base, and unfortunately you're not allowed to dive into the base. They are coming out to check on her and make sure everything's okay. She's holding her back, and I think everybody's just kind of checking her legs out.
And Alex, watching it live, I thought maybe she fell towards first, but on the replay it does look to me like she dove head first, and by rule then she would be out. You can't in Little League dive head first into a base you are going to. That's secondary, of course, at this moment to making sure that Brooke is okay.
I did agree, though, on kind of like the falling at first, because she was trying to run so fast that she was sort of tripped up on her legs.
Yeah.
You see right there, she starts to collapse and just kind of catches herself at the end, but
yeah,
not quite sure how they'll rule it. You've got Claire Ford over there probably asking the question, like, hey, is she allowed to dive like that?
Yeah.
Obviously, again, you mentioned the concern being just making sure she's okay.
And was it a dive or was it a fall? Meanwhile, the athletic trainer for Little League here in Bristol, Christine Weaving, is out doing her job tending to Brooke Adams.
And it does look like she's holding her jersey up a little bit, which I can vividly remember playing on fields. I told you I was a head first slider myself, especially in travel ball. But our hips would get eaten up by dirt, especially if you don't wear like sleeves and Under Armours and stuff to kind of help protect you.
Yeah.
I used to have so many little strawberries on my stomach and my hip bones because they would just get cut up.
Just the cost of doing business out.
It is. It was always worth it.
And hopefully Brooke feels the same way as she gets to her feet. gets a little bit of a cheer from the folks who've come here from D.C. And it appears she will stay at second base. Now, Antoine Kennedy, the manager for Washington, D.C., is having a discussion with the umpires. And now, once she was on her feet, they decided that indeed she did dive head first, and so by rule, she is out.
Good heads-up base running by Brooke Adams. Didn't necessarily fall in her favor the way she probably meant to handle it, but did a good job hustling and kind of fell into that one. Unfortunately, you're just not allowed to slide, and the rules have to take precedence here just for everybody's safety. So you got to be mindful of that, but really good effort all the way around.
And I do like how the umpires handled that, not immediately calling her out, letting her get checked out, and then enforcing the rule after it was obvious that she was going to be okay. So Justin Skiba, Kevin Southall, Jim Lotka, Owen Sprague are 4 umpires here in the Mid-Atlantic region for today. All doing a good job. These are all umpires who volunteer their time, and they are here for a week, making sure that they support this tournament and allow for these girls to have this experience. So nobody on, 2 out for Amira Burks, who was a strikeout victim her first time. Well, the Mamie Johnson Little League from Washington, D.C. has been here the last 2 years. This is their 3rd time coming, trying to pick up their first win at this level. Amira Burks retired. And our score remains 4-0 with 4 innings in the books. As we head to the 5th inning of this elimination game in the Mid-Atlantic region, let's show you what the 2 pitchers have done. Both have been good. Elise Kennedy, though, on the short end of the scores. Riley Phillips has only allowed a couple of base runners.
When you see the strikeout comparison, pretty similar, too. You got Elise Kennedy sitting at 3 and Riley Phillips at 4. It's just been the defense, too, having the back of Riley Phillips, stepping up, making some of the great plays. And I do think Washington, D.C. has done a fantastic job improving defensively, making some of those routine plays, but Maryland has figured out the offense, swinging the bat a lot better.
Well, the Mamie Johnson All-Stars are definitely better up the middle defensively this year. Maya Small behind the plate, Amora Burks at shortstop, Zoe Vasquez at second, and Amira Burks in center field. Makes a big difference when you've got your best players able to make not only the routine plays, but some really nice plays as well. The batter is Olivia Gaddis. We talked her first time up about her cousins, KJ, who played minor league baseball, and her other cousin, Dante Trader Jr., who plays in the NFL for the Dolphins. But her father, Pop, was a really good youth baseball player as well. In fact, he reached the Little League Baseball Regionals in 1997. And he has played a big role in Livy's growth as a softball player. He was on the team's coaching staff a year ago and continues to be a big support for Livy. And I should also mention that her mom, Kirsten, is serving as one of the 2 player advocates for this year's team. She's a 3rd-year Little League volunteer. Her daughter's putting up a good fight here. Got a 1-2 count to begin the top of the 5th inning.
You see the level of confidence, too, that Olivia Gaddis plays with, and just looks comfortable in the batter's box, competes every pitch, is aggressive even on the bases, just trying to take that softball IQ to the next level.
And she is one of the most powerful players on the roster. She pops that one up after sitting and waiting for the changeup. Look out. Let's hope both players are okay. Small is back up. Karma White, the 3rd baseman, a little slower to get up. That could have been a lot worse.
Olivia Gaddis gets a new life here. Waits on the changeup. Really good pitch by Elise Kennedy. A little bit of a collision there, too, between catcher Maya Small and 3rd baseman Karma White. Got the fans, the parents in the stands all yelling to call the ball. Communicate, you two, let's go. They know the deal. We talk about it takes a village out here. I feel like so many of the parents, the family members that are involved really ride the trenches, if you will, go through the trenches with all these athletes.
Kennedy gets the strikeout. Gaddis is retired. That's the 4th punch out so far for Elise Kennedy.
Fourth strikeout of the day. Catching up with Riley Phillips there, too.
Yeah.
That line is looking really good from both. Elise Kennedy has been good in her last outing, too. She only had the 1 inning of work, but had a couple of strikeouts even in that. And she does a good job attacking the zone. We talk so much about the strike production and how important it is to go right at hitters.
Rachel Wright, 2-hopper, knocked down by Karma White. Playing the hot corner to perfection. I would say, based on her reaction to this sharply hit ball, she's okay after that near collision in foul ground.
Great defense here. Karma White just eats this one up, kind of smothers it, catches it with her body, but she'll take it, whatever works. Fields it cleanly, fires across to first base. Really good defense.
Clearly not afraid. Sam Timmons with a line drive single into center field. She takes a big turn at first base. Ball played back in by Amira Burks. And it's a 2-out base runner. Sam Timmons now 2 for 2 on the afternoon.
Great job by Sam Timmons. Attacks early, just takes this pitch right at the letters, drives it right back up the middle. Good job keeping her hands on plane with the pitch. Bottom of the order, stepping up right now for Delmar Little League.
Well, I think the strategy for Roger Waters and his staff today for the Delmar Little League has been to attack the first pitch. Not this time, but they've got 5 first pitch hits out of their 8 hits this afternoon. Rylan Twilley has one of those hits. That was on a bunt single back in the 3rd inning. And she came around to score one of the 2 runs that frame. And among her many skills off the softball diamond, she is an Irish dancer. She is a state championship wrestler. She competes in other sports, really good at softball, and she can dance. Line drive right at the shortstop, Amora Burks. A big scoreless top of the 5th inning put up for Elise Kennedy and DC.
Rylan Twilley hits this ball right off the barrel of the bat. The line drive shot at Amora Burks makes the grab. Fantastic defense. Doug said he's going to show us his boots when we get back.
The Little League Softball Regionals on ESPN are presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's. Why not have a little dance? And Alex Powers and I will leave that to folks who can dance. We're better suited sitting up here with a headset on.
Yeah, they've got way better moves than we do.
No doubt.
Maybe we can get some lessons between games.
Well, we've got ourselves a new pitcher. It's Harper Shockley, who we saw warm up down in the bullpen a couple of innings ago. And the young lady who loves watermelon apparently takes the place of Riley Phillips. And we are curious about Riley's condition. She seemed to be having trouble with one of her fingers in the last inning. She made it through and pitched very well today. Over 4 innings, she allowed only 1 hit and no runs.
She was fantastic too. You just talk about strike production and what she was able to do, getting ahead of batters. You look at some of the stats that she had. 11 of the 13 batters she'd faced were first pitch strikes. The importance of getting ahead, the percentages there, almost 75% strikes. That's pretty elite stuff.
So Riley Phillips stays in the game. She moves from the circle over to second base.
Whole new opportunity right now for Harper Shockley coming in. Same MO, trying to attack early.
Morgan Richardson tries to slap her way aboard, but she is retired. Kendall Gibbons, or rather Rachel Wright, now playing third base with the assist over to Sam Timmons.
Good job defensively here. That stays solid. Rachel Wright just eats it up. The ball's always going to find the new girl. Nothing new here. Same song and dance. Just fielding your position, making the routine plays, something that Maryland has prided themselves on nicely.
Well, the MO on Harper Shockley as a pitcher, she is a control pitcher. She's number 3 in the lineup in terms of their pitching rotation for Roger Waters. She's a 12-year-old from Laurel, Maryland. And both their parents, Blair and Julia, are poultry farmers. And that is one of the real big industries in that part of the country between agriculture and poultry. It is not unusual for the families around Delmar Little League to derive their incomes from those two things. And so Harper in the circle facing Amora Burks. Amora Burks, like so many of the girls, play other sports, which I think is so key. I think it benefits you from sport to sport when you play more than one. If you specialize too early, you don't gain benefit from the other sports and the other skills that you can learn. And also resting your body, some of the muscles that you use if you're playing year-round in one sport. It's better to play another sport to rest some things like your throwing arm.
Couldn't agree more. Just the ability to stay athletic. I think the athletes that go the furthest in this sport are, of course, really good at softball, but they're really good at a lot of things. Just the athleticism, the ability to be strong, agile, quick, whatever it is, smart too, the awareness that comes with playing a lot of different things.
And you know, Alex, I always think of the great Patrick Mahomes as an example of that. The best quarterback on the planet for the Kansas City Chiefs, the son of a Major League Baseball player who played baseball coming up. And you can see he plays quarterback oftentimes like a middle infielder.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I feel like I should have known that. You're always teaching me something.
Pat
So
Mahomes,
grateful.
yeah, was a right-handed pitcher for a long time. And I don't know when Patrick stopped playing baseball. You know, he eventually had to choose football, but he definitely played youth baseball. And I always think of that when the pocket breaks down and he's scrambling and the way he's able to throw at all sorts of different angles. I always think middle infielder.
Hey, you know who else was a football or is a football quarterback in the NFL that played baseball?
Who's that?
Jameis Winston. He played at Florida State.
He was pretty good. He was a pitcher at Florida State?
He was a pitcher at Florida State, too, yeah.
But he was better at football, Heisman Trophy winner. Yeah, John Elway, great Denver Broncos quarterback. Great diving attempt by Claire Ford. Just couldn't hold on to the ball. But John Elway, in his want not to play for the Indianapolis Colts, signed with the New York Yankees and played for the Oneonta Yankees before the Broncos signed him.
Great effort here. Little diving attempt by Claire Ford right up the middle there. Would have been a great play. Doesn't come up with it, but A for effort. Good stuff right now for Amora Burks. Finds herself at first.
That is just the second hit for DC so far today. Tries to draw the throw. She does. Now down to second. Goes in awkwardly, and let's see. She is called safe. And that was certainly not a traditional feet first slide either. And as you said, Alex, it is easier for some than others to slide feet first. Was she trying to?
I think she was, and just definitely got stuck there. Tried to do a little bit of a slide by too, is what it looked like. She tried to go to the side, the hand comes out, and then you see the foot just get stuck.
Yeah.
Ooh, that doesn't feel good, but talk about athleticism, staying loose and nimble. These 12 and 13-year-olds are definitely that.
And so Roger Waters has come out from the Maryland dugout and asked the umpires to discuss it, so the four of them will get together and see what they come up with. But again, it's all player safety, and that's why the rule is in place, and they don't want the girls going in awkwardly and getting hurt. And so it's incumbent upon the players and the coaches and the managers to practice sliding and get yourself good at it so you don't have your knee or your foot get put into an awkward position.
Absolutely. Can't argue the rule there. And just want everybody to remain safe. And I think the good news is, too, if there is any confusion, the umpires can review the play. You can review whether or not it was a foot first or head first slide. They don't elect to do so. But if you're Coach Waters, all you can do is ask.
Yep, the four of them came to consensus without going to video review and said that indeed she was trying to go feet first. And so that's a stolen base for Amora Burks with Elise Kennedy at the plate. One out. Here in the bottom half of the fifth inning of this elimination game, DC with its best chance to score so far. This is the first time they've had somebody in scoring position. Elise Kennedy lifts it high in the air to shallow left, and Claire Ford back from shortstop to put it away. That's a big second out for Harper Shockley in her first inning of work in the circle. And now she'll have to deal with the dangerous Maya Small, who had a booming triple in game one on Saturday. Swing and a miss, good challenge. Snap throw to second, trying to take third, and in the same manner she took second, she gets to third, and here comes Amora Burks, generating the first run of the afternoon for Mamie Johnson Little League.
Putting the pressure on the defense, that's what it's all about. Amora Burks running the bases aggressively, draws the throw. Catch and throw game right there by Maryland, struggling a little bit, but Amora Burks relying on the speed, does a good job just going base to base, reading the balls. Speed is tough.
So Burks has a single. She steals second, she steals third, and comes across on the throwing error to make it 4-1. Strike three call. So Harper Shockley doesn't blink, able to get through the rest of the inning, gets the third out by strikeout. But DC breaks through with its first run.
Harper Shockley comes in and wastes no time, going right at these hitters, paints that one nicely on the outside corner. Strike three call. Maryland looking to respond.
This is game 2 of the day here in Bristol, Connecticut. We turn things back over to the New England region coming up at 4 o'clock. Maine and New Hampshire will square off, a game you can see here on ESPN+. And then Alex and I will be back for the 7 o'clock nightcap between Massapequa International and Middletown, Delaware. MOT, the Middletown Odessa Townsend state champs from Delaware. We hope you can join us. We head to the 6th inning after Washington, D.C. just got its first run across to get on the board. Now the key is to put a 0 up here in the top of the 6th inning and give yourselves a fighting chance in the bottom half to keep the game going.
If you're Washington, D.C., I think that one of the biggest storylines from Coach Antoine Kennedy's perspective was, hey, we came back out here last year and we learned a lot. We worked really hard this offseason, and I think that that showed, especially today. No matter how this game ends, they have definitely had significant improvement. Would definitely like to see a 3 up, 3 down type of inning to give themselves another opportunity to close out this game in a solid way.
By the way, that's the Maine state champion taking their hacks out in one of the batting cages here at the Giamatti Center complex. We are at the Maine Diamond where the games are played, but there are a handful of other diamonds, practice fields, and batting cages that the girls are able to get ready to go. So you can watch Maine play coming up at 4 o'clock on ESPN+. Elise Kennedy, a workhorse today in the circle for Mamie Johnson Little League. Facing Joe Miller for the 2nd time. She struck Miller out looking back in the 3rd. It's a leadoff walk worked by the number 13 hitter in the continuous batting order. And you've been talking, Alex, about the ability to throw strikes. Elise Kennedy, for the most part, has done that very well today. Just the 2nd walk she's allowed.
She's been fantastic, just really attacking the zone, staying right around the zone, too. Again, the defense, I'm just so impressed with both how she's throwing and how she threw the other day, too, in that outing that she had, but just how the defense has stepped up behind her, too, making the routine plays. They've definitely had a couple of mistakes, sure, but as does everybody at this age, especially. Have really settled in nicely, done a good job staying down on ground balls. It's been super impressive.
Maya Small throws to first. Back easily as Joe Miller. As Kennedy deals with Riley Medford for the 3rd time. Riley's 0 for 2. She hit the ball hard her first time and lined out to 2nd. And then struck out looking in the 3rd. But Riley has had a good regional so far. Sharply hit up the middle. It sneaks under the glove of the shortstop, Amora Burks. Runner kind of hesitates going around 2nd. She's able to make 3rd. So runners on the corners. Miller at 3rd. Riley Medford with her 2nd hit of the regional.
Riley Medford has been seeing the ball well today. Had the line drive in the 1st inning, and that one barrels it up nicely. Finally finding her way on base this game. Good base running, too, by Joe Miller. Splitting the runners right now, 1st and 3rd, nobody out.
And now Claire Ford, who has 2 of their 9 hits today. That throw gets off the shortstop's glove, Amora Burks, and that will allow the run to score for Joe Miller to make it 5-1. And sprinting around to 3rd is Riley Medford.
Speed is hard to defend, and when you've got base runners right there pushing the defense, you've got Mamie Johnson Little League trying to make a play where shortstop Maura Burks comes in and cuts off the throw but doesn't come up with it in time. Gets by her, tough break. Everybody moves. And again, good things happen when you run the bases aggressively. You put the pressure on the defense, make them make the throws. It's a hard thing to do.
Right back to Kennedy. Quick play to 1st. Throw to 3rd. The tag is a little bit late. Riley Medford able to stay on the base. And so there's 1 away.
Now batting number 12, Riley Phillips.
Good job fielding her position. Elise Kennedy, a little PFP action, pitcher's fielding practice, if you didn't know what that was, Doug.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
A lot of pitchers in baseball and softball have to practice the comebackers. Throwing to 1st.
No, my first year doing minor league baseball for the old Syracuse Chiefs in 1993, Paul Spoljaric, who pitched in the big leagues, referenced PFP when I was interviewing him early on. I'm like, what is PFP? And he explained it to me. So for 30+ years, I have known what PFP is.
Love it. Should I tell you I wasn't born yet in 93?
I knew that.
I'm just kidding. Well, I wasn't, but but I'm just kidding.
PFP, yes, indeed. Elise Kennedy has fielded her position very well. This one gets by her to the shortstop, Amora Burks. Safe at first, and the run scores. Riley Medford comes across. It's an infield RBI single for Riley Phillips.
Tough break there for Amora Burks. Kind of the fisted shot off the hand, the slow roller to shortstop. Doesn't come up with it in time, but makes a great effort there. Tries to be quick with it as much as possible. And great hustle down the line by Riley Phillips. Doesn't give up on it. You do have Antoine Kennedy coming out. I think he's going to ask to review just to see. All you can do is ask the question. They've got a couple of challenges that they can use. Each team gets 2, and this is one of those reviewable plays.
Yep, so why not use them here in the 6th inning? You can't take them with you.
A good bang-bang play. I mean, that is really close. It does, to me, I feel like the call will stand. But I do think it's one of those that almost could have gone either way.
Yeah, but I agree with you. The call on the field has to be obviously wrong for you to be able to change it. And first of all, I think he got it right. And second of all, it's bang bang enough that I think it'll stand 2, Alex. But we shall see.
It's one of those two. I compare it to a lot of the reviewable plays you see at college. If it had been called out on the field, I don't know that it would have been overturned then either, because to your point, it would have had to have been definitive enough.
Exactly.
That it was obviously wrong, and that was a really close one.
There you see, you're allowed 2 unsuccessful challenges in regulation. So that means you can just keep challenging as long as you get it right. And then if and when we get to extra innings, those are done and you get 1 unsuccessful challenge in the extra innings.
I do always like to think, too, from an umpire's perspective, if I'm the one that calls that, while my play or my call on the field is being reviewed, competitively, I'm like, man, I hope I got it right.
Yeah.
Aren't you?
Of course. Of course.
For a lot of reasons, right? The inner competitor in all of us, and then,
yeah.
Of course, on behalf of the athletes, you want to get everything right.
And it's funny in Major League Baseball now with the ABS system, as the umpires have the ruling. We'll take a break and let them tell us what the call is. Safe, and so the call will stand. I'm always amused by Major League Baseball home plate umpires now who are constantly being asked to review pitches that they have just called one or the other, and they have to go on mic and on camera to explain what's happening, and some seem to be a little happier about doing it than others.
Yeah, this has been one of my favorite things on social media. I don't want to call it memes because it's not, but the videos that come through with those, so much fun to watch.
Yeah, fun because it's not you who have
Correct.
somebody questioning your work.
100%.
Down to second goes Riley Phillips. 1 away in the top of the 6th inning of this elimination game. 100 pitches now thrown for Elise Kennedy against the cleanup hitter Rowan Preston now. Well, Maryland manager Roger Waters told me this morning he was looking for a big bounce back from his team after losing to Pennsylvania yesterday 7-0 in a game that really nothing went right for them, and from this state champ that typically comes here and is very competitive, it does feel like they've had a solid bounce back so far today. Popped up foul and up against the screen.
They've done a good job just taking care of the softball. I think doing the small things well, running the bases aggressively, making the plays that they should have made, and just going right at, from a pitching standpoint. Again, pitching and defense, we expected to be strong. Defense was a little shaky the other day, so those players have definitely stepped up, made the adjustments. But from a hitting standpoint, I think they're a lot more aggressive today. And you like to see that too, both on the bases and in the batter's box.
Well, they have a lot of returning players from last year 7. They know how to play softball. They have shown that. This is a program that reached the Little League Softball World Series 4 years ago, and while none of these girls were on that team, of course. Pitch goes to the backstop. Both runners advance. It is a winning culture. No matter who the manager is, no matter who the coaches are, it's just ingrained in this tiny 4,000 resident town that straddles the Delaware and Maryland border that they play good, sound softball.
I'm going to need you to elaborate on that when we've got the time, about the geographical lesson that you're about to give everybody at home.
All right, two-hopper takes a funny hop. Vasquez, who's been so good with her glove today, couldn't make the play and a run scores.
And this one hit sharply by Kendall Givens here. Hits it the other way, and the bad hop, it is going to go down as a hit. Zoe Vasquez unable to come up with it. Would have been a great play given how firm that ball was off the bat. More offensive pressure here from Maryland.
Allie Russell takes the ball high and outside, and with it, Kendall Givens takes second base. So 2 in scoring position. Grounded up the middle. It's going to trickle into center field and score 2 runs. A 2-run single for Allie Russell. And as the throw comes to the plate, she takes second base.
Hitting is contagious. Allie Russell wants a piece of the pie here. Drives this one again right back up the middle, a little bit more opposite field for the left-handed hitter. Good job just staying patient, letting that pitch get deep in the zone. Good approach there. Everybody's aggressive on the bases, coming around to score. Maryland furthering that lead.
All right, with the mound visit here, the circle visit, I can tell you that, since you asked.
Take us to school.
Delmar, their motto is the little town too big for one state. And in fact, they have 2 zip codes for a town of 4,000 people, 1 on each side of the state. So there you go.
How confusing is that for people like me, already bad at geography?
Well, I just
I
think
would
it's
really struggle.
cool that they took the first 3 letters from each of the states to be Delmar. Why wasn't it Mardell? Huh? No good answer?
Got me.
Flip of the coin.
So you can say I live in Delmar, Maryland, or Delmar, Delaware, right?
Yeah, or
Yep.
Delmar, New York. There are a bunch of Delmars.
Oh, man.
Delmar, California.
Oh, now I'm just
Lots of them.
really confused.
But this is the one where you can understand why it's Delmar. It's very easy to come up with why they named it that. Well, Elise Kennedy went over 100 pitches, and perhaps fatigue played a role on a warm day, a sunny day here in Bristol. And so she has given way. Karma White moves from third base. And apparently Karma, for some reason, she speaks Korean, and we can give you an example of that right now.
Hello, my name is Karma. 안녕하세요, Karma예요.
I can barely speak English. I've got no words. I mean, you stump me on geography, the English language, as hard as it is, and here Karma is speaking Korean.
You just never know.
These kids continue to amaze me, all their talents on and off the field.
If you would have asked me before we got here to Bristol this week if we were going to come upon one of the players who could speak Korean, I'd have said no.
Right.
I'd put a lot of money down on that. But Karma would have taken my money. So she relieves Elise Kennedy, trying to get the last 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Kennedy Griffith, the batter. She has been aboard twice today, a single, and came around to score in the 2nd inning, then reached on an error in the 4th.
Great job by Karma White, too. Just talk about throwing strikes. Her and Elise Kennedy both have the same pitching coach, Coach Bree, and that was really important to them and the team, the coaches, to have some familiarity and consistency from a coaching standpoint to have the same verbiage when they're learning and trying to develop those pitches and their skills in the circle. Both have chosen to keep it simple, really just a fastball changeup combo, but I've tried to really hone in on that and their control of those pitches.
And that's just another one of the building blocks for this Mamie Johnson Little League. You know what, Coach Kennedy wanted to give a shout out and say thank you for a send-off video they got from the St. James 12U softball team, the Strivers. Coach Morgan and Coach Kay supporting Mamie Johnson Little League as they came up north here to Connecticut. And there is talk that they will expand the reach of this Little League next year, perhaps, from just girls in wards 7 and 8 in Washington, D.C. over to Prince George's County. And so you broaden the talent pool, you'll inevitably get better.
Batting for Maryland, number 23, Harper Shockley.
How good would that be, too, for the growth of softball? From that geography standpoint, the more talent, the more players you have, the more talent you can kind of choose from, the more the girls push each other.
Delayed steal is successful. Allie Russell slides in feet first. Harper Shockley still looking for her first base hit of the regional. Tops it up on the infield, coming on Amora Burks. And that is the third out of the inning. So we head to the bottom of the sixth in this elimination game with Washington, D.C. needing 8 runs to keep its magical summer alive. We welcome you back to Bristol, Connecticut as we start the bottom half of the sixth inning, the final frame of regulation. 9-1 Maryland the lead. You see they've got the 12 hits and finally really broke it open in the top half of the sixth inning. First pitch swinging. Karma White is retired as Rachel Wright over at third base made a fine play. And that'll bring up Zoe Vasquez.
Number 22, Zoe Vasquez.
Well, Zoe's middle name, Pamela, she added to her name to honor her late grandmother. 2 pitches, 2 outs. Vasquez is retired on the comebacker to Harper Shockley.
Talk about pitch efficiency. Harper Shockley settling in nicely here. Second inning of work.
Now batting number
I think she'll take it. 2 pitches, 2 outs. It's good stuff.
Yep, so it comes down to Sohaila Ware, who, by the way, I don't need to look at a questionnaire to know that she's got the best hair on this team. Come on.
So many of the athletes, yeah, take pride in their hair, and that was one of the superlatives, if you will, that athletes got to choose. with their teammates.
Well, Coach Kennedy calls the building of so-so, so Hala's confidence, his favorite coaching memory of this special summer. Well, a 5-pitch inning closes it out for Harper Shockley. And the Delmar Little League that survives and advances. Final score 9-1. And in defeat, we salute the Mamie Johnson Little League from Washington, D.C., making their 3rd trip in 3 years here to Bristol. They will head home to D.C. with their heads held high.
So much to be proud of, and you talk about the growth that happens year to year. Mamie Johnson Little League has done a fantastic job continuing to improve. They need to leave here this afternoon just knowing that they put in some really good work, should be really proud of themselves and looking ahead, more to do, but a lot to be proud of.
And so Maryland will play again tomorrow at 1 o'clock in another elimination game against the winner of our nightcap, New York and Delaware, which you can see at 7 o'clock here on ESPN+. But in the meantime, it'll be the New England Championship, where Maine and New Hampshire will play their own elimination game. We will see you then. Thanks so much for joining us, and we will be back shortly from Bristol, Connecticut. For Alex Powers, I'm Doug Sherman. So long for now.